Hi, this is Petrie from Barefoot Ambition, and I'm sitting with the speaker, the next month's speaker of the Barefoot Talks, the wonderful Macleod. Kim will be coming to the Barefoot Sanctuary on the 23rd of February to talk about her book, From Heartbreak to Happiness. So we've just been sitting downstairs for about an hour, chatting away. We've come upstairs to film this little clip for you because I really wanted you to meet Kim in advance of the talk and for her to share a little bit about what you can expect on the night and why listening to Kim's story and then maybe getting the book later could really impact your life. So Kim, could you just say hi? And
Yep, hello folks, I'm really looking forward to coming along and thank you so much for inviting me, Bernie. What a marvellous place you have there. I've been before and it's fabulous. So
thank you. So we were talking downstairs and one of your beautiful son Callum, he died in October 2007.
Yep.
So that's going to be 10 years.
10 years this year, yep.
And for many people, when they hear that someone's lost a child, they just think, well, that's their life's ruined. That would be the Scottish terminology I would hear, or Northern Irish. Well, their life will never, obviously it's never been the same, but that's their life ruined.
Yeah.
You don't feel like that right now.
No.
Can you share a little bit about what choices you've made?
Yeah. I think one of the main things for me was to recognise and value Callum. Meant that if I gave up, as many people do, maybe because they just haven't known another way.
Yeah.
But if I had given up, then it was almost like we would have tarnished his memory as well.
Yeah.
So for me, it was making the choice to. When I talk about that we live our lives well to honour our son.
Yeah. Wow.
And it was finding a way to make that choice from the depths of despair, obviously. Absolutely, I'm not going to minimise that for a minute to say that it wasn't, but to create for ourselves fundamentally some more happiness in our lives, because I had a view that if Callum could see us from wherever he may have been,
and you very much feel he can.
I do, absolutely, I do. I still talk to him, and we'll share more of that probably on the night.
Yeah.
That I wanted him to be able to see and recognise me as the happy mum that he had known and loved and grown up with. So that was probably my first inspiration, was I had to get back to being that person so that he would know. He would know that we were okay, and that he would know that that's who she is. She's there. So that was probably that was very early on. That was the starting point for me.
And you talk a lot. I mean, the talk is called Making the Choice of Happiness. We were talking downstairs earlier. You called it practical Scottish happiness.
Yep.
Because a lot of people in that maybe are thinking about self-help and positive mental attitude, the language that they hear from maybe different parts of the world, it's too much. But you're going to be speaking about practical Scottish happiness. Why is that important, do you think? And why, who could tune into that maybe hasn't been able to tune into other things?
Yeah, I think if lots of people hear about the American, rah rah rah, stand up and everything's marvelous and we love it. And when I started talking about happiness in Scotland, first of all, people would look at me as if I had horns growing out my head. And I remember one lady saying to me, oh, it's all right, I don't want to get too happy because something bad might happen, right? So there's that kind of element. And somebody else saying, oh, it's all right, contentment will do me. Contentment will do me. Now, contentment may well be happiness for her. That may be fine. But I think for me, we've got this psyche within us about where we are in Scotland, and it's starting from that point, and it had to be really practical for people. So because I think if I started to share this very Americanized view of the world, and there's some brilliant ideas and brilliant stuff that I've learned from people there, but I wanted to translate that into language that people understood.
Yeah. So they could reach it.
So they could reach it and experience it and connect with it. So it had to be practical. It had to be based, really in just in words that we would use and actions people were prepared to take, and try to help maybe lead them a wee bit on a journey. So you might never get people going, rah, but we might get rah.
Wow. important. I mean, obviously on the night, Kim is going to share her very personal story, and you know, there's no sugarcoating the reality of what happened, but how you have a real belief that loving and cherishing who you are was fundamental towards you choosing happiness. Can you just say a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think that recognising where we are and whatever circumstances have gone on. So people will experience this doesn't need to be about loss of a person, but you're maybe in a difficult time, and if you can acknowledge how you feel, because that was one of the things was I had to acknowledge and accept the reality of the situation, but acknowledge how I was feeling, but find a way to release some of those emotional, you know, the real big emotion stuff that was going on, but also to be my own, I was talking about being my own best friend, and being able to love myself, I suppose, for all that was going on, and not to be too judgmental of you know what you were experiencing, and just being able to help lead myself through a journey of coming out of darkness into back into the light.
So really, there is within the night. There's going to be real practical, Scottish practical, step by step. You're going to step into the experience of those things that may or may not float your boat. But I think your message is very much, there will be something that will float your boat, that will enable you to step towards happiness. And you have a real, as you said earlier, the eternal optimist.
Yeah, the eternal optimist, yeah.
And that's been a choice as well. You can choose that optimism.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, Bernie, it is about, we don't often, people when you sit and watching this just now, think that you have a choice about what has happened to you, but you have a choice about how you react to it. And I think I count myself very lucky that I had learned an awful lot of stuff. You know, in the years before Callum died, I learned a lot of stuff that I was then able to put into practice at the hardest way possible, put it into practice on myself at the most difficult time. And I think that if you understand some tools, if you actually try some different things, you know, definition of insanity, keeping doing the same things and expecting different results. So it's, you know, being able to try something just to help you lift your mood in that moment, or to find a way to then look at a situation slightly differently, because you could change and shift your emotional state. And those were the things that I was able to apply. And then became really passionate about, because I saw the impact that it had for me. I saw the impact it had for people around me, because I was changing how I felt. And that's what I've shared with people, you know, through my happiness clubs and happiness day things and stuff like that, just to take that message further. And I think that's what's, you were asking me earlier, what was, you know, why I still wanted to talk about this sort of stuff. And I think it's, if you're sitting there just now having had, maybe last year was a really tough year, and I know a lot of people who had a lot of things happen last year, and sitting there thinking that, oh well, what can I do about it? There are things that you can do, and it's not about having to change the big stuff. You know, it's changing, you know, you can make one really, really small, simple change for you that can help you feel different in that moment, and then you can look at that situation again, and suddenly you get an insight into, oh, there's something else I could do, or somebody else appears, or there's all sorts of magical things have happened to me as well over the last 10 years. So hopefully what I can give people is maybe just a sense that to have hope that life can be better, and find a few things that they can try that might work for them.
It's going to be a very special night, where there will be a link below this so that you can book your seat, so that you can be sure to meet Kim in the flesh. And if you think that this message is something that someone that you care about or know would benefit from watching, please share it with them, so they have the choice to come and listen to Kim talk at the Barefoot Talks, which is on the 23rd of February, and it will begin at 7:30 p.m. So I'm so inspired. Honestly, I can't take my eyes off watching your eyes. They sparkle and they glimmer, and I just, you know, I think you are such an inspiration to so many people, and I am so honoured you're going to come. And
Thank you, Bernie. I'm delighted to be here.
So there we go. This is the wonderful Kim Macleod, and I know you're going to love meeting her. And we're going to sign off from, where are we? Where are we sitting?
We're in the City Arts
the City
Centre,
Arts Centre
in Edinburgh.
Yeah, so it's wonderful we've managed to get together for this moment. So it's bye from us, and hopefully we'll see you on the 23rd of February.
Look forward to it.
Bye for now.